Motorists and commuters in Kano have condemned the sudden fuel price hike from 670 naira to 897 naira per litre, which has severely disrupted business and commercial activities. The increase, approved by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, has led to fuel stations raising prices, some up to 1,400 naira per litre. The price surge has also triggered a sharp rise in the cost of goods and services, with commodities like sachet water doubling in price and transportation fares increasing by 200%. Residents expressed frustration, with many considering drastic lifestyle changes due to the economic strain. All right, this talking about fuel scarcity, it's not only happening in Kano State, it's happening in a lot of states in Nigeria. In fact, let's not go too far. Right here in Rivers State, we are experiencing it, and this has actually made there to be fewer vehicles on the road, increase in transportation, increase in goods and services in general. A lot of products are now higher, more expensive because of this. So I would like to get your reaction to this story. How is this affecting you now? Let's start with you.
Well, I'm a victim also, because I can no longer use my generator plant at home for a very long time because of the price of the product, the fuel. And it has also affected my life.
How is power? How is power in your area?
We don't even have as we speak, because I'm told they went and stole stuff from the transformer that has been vandalized. So if you do not buy the fuel, you can't pump water. So we're not even talking about other activities that will make life very, comfortable.
So there's no form of security for the transformers?
Well, the information I gathered was that the vigilantes said that they saw a healers at the middle of the night, around 1, 2 a.m., and they flashed them a torchlight, and they flashed them back. So they thought they were police. And I wonder the kind of local security that we have that will see such an activities and wouldn't go closer, and what would police be doing in a transformer at the middle of the night? So the story seems very, very dumbfounding, but in any way, we trust God for repairs and replacement. So it's affecting. We can't really drive our cars now, and I want to believe that most of these activities or decisions looks to me as if Nigeria is not having leadership. It makes me feel that somebody at any corner of your jurisdiction in governance, you wake up in the morning because you don't like what has just happened, you take a new decision. And I think it's very condemnable by the NNPC. We heard that Dangote refinery has product right now. So our jubilation and our excitement was going to be that, from what NNPC used to sell, 500 and something, it may now drop because of the issue of, custom duties will now be exempted. Most of the expenditures that is being borne in trying to import, fuel and export it for refining will no longer be there. So we are expecting a very joyful news from the NNPC and from the Dangote refinery. But it looks as if it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, So yesterday we were happier that 500 and something. We were complaining and we are saying let them reduce the prices. Now NNPC have gone ahead to increase the price. So it means that each time Nigerians are advocating for what to be good for them, those who are in leadership are planning more wicked and obnoxious decisions that will impoverish and incur more hardship and suffering on Nigerians.
This approved this approved fuel price actually came before we heard stories about Dangote reading out petrol from his refinery.
When did it come, the price?
The pricing, it came before then, because we have been talking about, yes, we've been talking about that. It was yesterday that we heard about Dangote reading out fuel. But from your analysis, it's looking like after Dangote reeled out fuel, we then heard the increase.
No. We heard that Dangote is now set. It has product now being refined for commercial purpose before the new price of NNPC came up. So it's just recently that Dangote rolled out his own price, right? But the NNPC has...
Not his price, his fuel.
That's releasing it now.
Yes,
but
yesterday.
We're already aware that he has it now ready. He announced it, that it's ready.
That he will soon be reading
yes,
out.
That it's ready, but they were trying to look at the pricing and how it should be distributed. You know, so Nigerians were happy that Dangote now has fuel, you know, to distribute to Nigerians, to market.
But it's not like we've heard stories that the NNPC have now bought fuel from Dangote and yet the price of fuel is still high out there.
The truth about it is, when leaders are not ready to alleviate the suffering of the people, you see flimsy excuses that does not make any sense. Is Dangote a spirit? Is it not the same Dangote that transacts discussions on how to get crude? Is it not the same Dangote that is relating with the agencies of government? So Dangote is not a spirit.
Okay, let me make something really clear for you now. When we talk about the increase in the price of fuel from the NNPC, we're looking at the reasons that they stated. They talked about the fact that it's expensive importing it. In fact, we had independent marketers coming out to say they're no longer, you know, they have actually stopped because of the expense, the cost of importing it from other countries. Now the NNPC are the sole importers now. They're importing the fuel. And they have said that it is expensive. Now, when they get to subsidize that amount to resell to these other marketers, it's more like close to half the price at that time, right? When they get to resell. But then recently we heard complaints from the marketers saying that they are now buying at exorbitant rates. It's no longer at 600 and something naira. They're looking at 900 and something naira, and there is no how they would buy at that price and then sell at that price. So that was where all of the increase came in. And then the NNPC complaining about the amounts that they get to subsidize from the fuel that they import, and they have said that it is so much. In fact, we're looking at them even owing other countries now that they get to buy fuel from because of this subsidy that they are putting on the fuel before they resell. So do you understand where all of the price increase came from? And from all of my explanation now, you didn't hear Dangote in the story, did you?
No. You see, I'm aware of all of these issues.
Okay.
Nigerians have clamored that our refineries should work. So if Dangote's refinery, the litmus tests, has now worked and it has nothing to reduce the price of PMS, rather than it's increasing now the price of PMS in Nigeria, should we still advocate and pray and desire that the Warri refinery should work? Port Harcourt refinery should work.
We've not bought petrol from Dangote and saw that it was expensive. Why don't we wait for us to get the petrol and then find out how much the NNPC will be selling?
Dangote said.
And Dangote has even told us that he is not the one putting up the price on the petrol. All he has to do is make sure that the product is available for Nigerians and West Africa, as is their target.
Okay, it's not his product.
It's not in his place. to fix the price. This was a story that was revealed yesterday. During the petrol that's reading out his fuel, during that particular event, that was when he mentioned that it's in place of the NNPC to fix that fuel. So why don't we wait till when we get the fuel from Dangote, and then we find out that it's still expensive before we start saying, oh, Dangote refinery is out and yet it's still expensive.
The new price that NNPC has just rolled out, right? Is it 900 and something naira per litre, isn't it? So is it when they get Dangote's product? Okay, that one, now if they bought it for a lower price, the price will be reviewed. If that's our understanding, then that will be fine. So maybe 1 or 2 days will not kill us. So let us hope that once Dangote releases their own products to the market, NNPC will now review the price, the current price, and bring it down maybe to 500 naira.
But do you really see that happening? Some people are thinking that there's something fishy because they are talking about the increase in the price of fuel by NNPC, and then Dangote reeling out fuel. And a lot of Nigerians feel like that's going to be the fixed price no matter who we get to buy from.
The truth is, most times in Nigerian operations and activities, for me, I learned to trust leaders. I learned to believe leaders until they prove me otherwise.
So you think they haven't proven otherwise?
So that's why I'm trying to lay an emphasis that sometimes statements of some of our leaders seems very contradictory and very confusing. You know, because I do not want to really agree with my elder statesman, Aliko Dangote, that is the NNPC that will tell him how much he's going to sell the product, as if it were his refinery, his government refinery. Because I want to believe that it is a private independent refinery, and as a businessman, he's going to put together how much his product will be sold. So I want to think that because of the partnership he's having with the NNPC, that's the federal government, they can discuss the very minimal way that it can be of betterment to Nigerians. So for him to come out and want to exonerate himself, is it that he's only, if actually he said so, is it that it's only in this issue of a PMS that Aliko Dangote group of company will no longer fix price, whereas in all their products in this country, they fix price for themselves? So I do not want to completely agree with him if actually he made such a statement. And I believe if he made that statement, I think he should review that statement, because I know no serious businessman will say Nigeria has not gotten to that level where government control price. If he was telling me from Europe, I would say yes, government in Europe control prices of products, but not in Nigeria. So
don't we have agencies for control of price in Nigeria?
There are laws that are not used until when they decide to use it. So there are some agencies that are there. It is only when government wants it to function the way it ought to, it will function.
So you're saying our price control agencies in Nigeria are not functioning?
Well, how do you control the price when you don't even have an aid to the person's, production? You are not helping the person in any way, and you want to control price. It's not possible.
What do you mean?
So a relative to a very reasonable extent, government is not really helping entrepreneurs. So because you are not helping them, it becomes difficult for you to control what they are doing. And that's why when government wants to interfere on a serious note to most of these companies, you see them walking away because they cannot survive. It looks as if government is selfish. It's only thinking about how they will generate a revenue for themselves, and they are not thinking about how the businessman, the investor, is going to make profit from his business. So government cannot think they are more wiser than the entrepreneurs. So when you want to oppress somebody by your policies because you want to raise IGRO, you are indirectly saying that you should shut down your business. So I want to believe
recently we heard the FCCPC saying that marketers should reduce their prices in 1 month. They give them 1 month ultimatum. And that's still them not being functional.
The truth about most of these things is there are people who are involved in these businesses. And most times they are the same people who controls what happens in government. So if you really want to further your pressure because they gave you one appointment in government, sometimes you can lose your position. Sometimes you can be called to order. So the bureaucracies and the internal interferences in most of these political positions are very, very, retrogressive to our results as a nation. So there are things that will never allow, success and progress as a nation.
Even if we say that Dangote gets to decide how much he sells to NNPC now, we cannot say that Dangote would decide how much NNPC will get to read it out to Nigerians.
The truth is, I have not even seen brother Aliko Dangote as a man that is a businessman. He loves making profit, which every one of us love. It is only recently that when BUA came and other cement companies, that the price of cement has dropped. When it was only him in this industry, in this issue of production of cement, we know how much cement went up. So I am not really his fan when it has to do with treating Nigerians with what he produces or manufactures. So I do not blame him because the government do not really support.
All right, let's look at our own refineries now, because we're actually talking about the fuel scarcity and you have been making reference to Dangote refinery. Let's look at our refineries. We heard recently that Kaduna and Warri refineries would be given out to private individuals. Bidders, it's open for bidders right now, and then they would be in charge of these refineries for 5 years, and there are some criteria down to the fact that their staff must be nationals, that's Nigerians, and then some other criteria that have been reeled out to them. So do you also see that in any way being a step in the right direction by the government?
Privatization or lease? Well, whichever is of the contest, whether lease or privatization, I think if what you are doing is not working, it's foolishness to continue doing the same thing that is not working. So if all the resources that federal government has put in place in Port Harcourt refinery, Kaduna refinery, Warri refinery is not producing results because of stories, because of bureaucracies, because of interferences, let us see, since one-man business owned the Dangote refinery that has worked, let us believe that if the federal government privatized or lease our refineries, that is going to give us the optimal result that we desire. So I want to believe that those who are going to bid for it and those who are going to have it will be sincere Nigerians who will not think that they are also now working for government again, and let them see themselves as people who are going to make life better for Nigerians.
So you think it's better for private individuals to handle it than the government?
For years, the ones the people in government are handling has not worked. So, and every year there is budget, there is fund release for the maintenances of these refineries. So if it's not working, the best thing is to think out of the box. And I think that's one of the reasons that may have led to the suggestion of maybe lease or privatization. I'm yet to really get the right terms for that decision.
All right, thank you so much.